Hey guys, today I'm going to be hopefully showing you how to defend in a siege on Shogun. I think it applies for most Total Wars in general. But yeah, so I have a two-level structure here. So I'm going to be using one set of archers just to defend the first level of walls or gates, and then give them covering fire from the highest level here. Now in general, what you're going to want to do is set your archers covering the courtyard that they're most likely going to, because in Shogun 2 you don't need ladders, you can just have your units just scale the walls, which I understand, as if you start in this campaign mode, specifically the avatar multiplayer, and you're not really open to a range of units. So in this situation, I decided to have a majority of line infantry, as you start off, you really only get not that much kind of elite infantry, but more just your general units, so like levies. And I've been playing multiplayer for a bit now, and what I've seen in general is that most people, they just opt for massive numbers and get spear levies for like, I think it's 400 in the currency. So yeah, I've just started the battle, and you're gonna have quite a bit of flexibility because most of the time the spawns are just in those areas, and your units do move quite quickly, and then you can alter where your ranged units are. And also what I did was, you don't want to put your spearmen right behind the gate, because most of the time they'll actually scale the walls rather than use the gate, so you put them in the middle of the courtyard, which makes it easiest for them to respond to where they're going to be scaling the walls. And my opponent here has opted for a kind of two-pronged attack, so he's going to be attacking from either side, and from an attacker's point of view, the one good thing about this is the defender is always focusing on one area of defense a little bit more than the other, depending on the amount of pressure. So if you're really lucky, he'll stay on one side of the castle, and you can just do whatever you want on the other, like attacking ranged units with melee, which will obviously be better for you as an attacker. And so I've repositioned my archer units to be more effective in terms of laying down fire, and as you can see, another tip if you're attacking, as you're approaching the walls, it's best to have the formation in which your units are spaced out, so you get dealt a lot less range damage. Now, although I only have 3 melee soldiers, if you will, they are not just standard levies, but are actually quite trained. So in most melee combat, unless they're severely outnumbered, they will either rout the enemy or just break them, and then the archers will kill them off. And although it looks like we're quite outnumbered, just the amount of people massing, they are only spear levies. So in terms of damage, they're not going to be doing that much at all. And so that's basically me doing the introduction, and you can just watch and see what I do. And how I react to his different attacks and where they are placed. And just to add, whenever they manage to scale the wall, you're going to want to pull your ranged infantry towards the center, and then hopefully the melee units will attack them, and then the range units can provide even more supporting fire. But yeah, I kinda failed there because I didn't realize that the units that had scaled the wall from the enemy were already routing. So yeah, so what I'm then going to do is just put them back to where they were and hopefully provide covering fire for any other units that are scaling the walls. As you can see, he has a bow infantry unit, and I wouldn't recommend having too many of those as an attacker because really they're not going to do that much damage unless your opponent is stupid enough to leave his melee or bow infantry right next to the walls. And now that he doesn't have any melee units left, one thing that I've noticed in Shogun 2 is just in general, it's a lot easier to defend than it is to attack in sieges. So I'm going to draw my spearmen out to attack the bow infantry, and he's drawing his cavalry, which is another mistake. Cavalry are really susceptible to spear infantry. Just if you think about it in real life, it's a lot easier for them to defend themselves and to attack. So I don't think that's his general unit, and that's another thing. I wouldn't include too much cavalry. Well, yeah, they routed very quickly. I wouldn't include too much cavalry in attacking a siege. I would just go for a lot of melee units. And not just spear levies, so you'll want a few units that won't just break immediately. So you see that even if I have quite a few less men, they are doing severe damage to the bow infantry. So yeah, they're routed now as well. So I'm just going to wait for him to pull out his other infantry, which I believe is his general unit, and I think it's one bow or spear levy unit left. Oh, one thing that happens rather strangely is even without a general to inspire, sometimes the enemy's units will just stop routing randomly and come back. But usually they're severely depleted and won't form much of a damage output for his army, and they can be dispatched quite quickly. I'd recommend not wasting melee soldiers on them, just either using archers or line infantry or any ranged units. However, if you really think that he doesn't really pose much of a threat anymore, then you can go in with your melee units to either make them a veteran unit or just to kill them quicker, because killing with the ranged units, they're usually there just to kind of thin down the enemy, not to fully rout them, unless they're really kind of bad in general. As you can see in the top right corner, which is your strength to your enemy strength ratio, he doesn't really have that much of a chance anymore. So, and also as a defender, you have a timer and you just have to survive that long, and either I'm going to win by his numbers getting too low or me just beating the timer. And yeah, I took down enough of his units, so it's a decisive victory. Didn't lose too many of my men themselves. So yeah, I think that was good siege in general. It was quite a good place to defend from, so you had 2 levels, which is a lot easier than just 1, because you can provide covering fire and also do twice the damage with ranged units that you would if you just had 1 main courtyard. And this is just, so I'm going to leave you here with me. I've just leveled up my general, so I started a new avatar campaign just for this video. I think the avatar campaign mode in Shogun 2 is quite a nice feature. I'm not really too sure. They kind of trimmed Rome 2 Total War down quite severely with just having a bare-boned multiplayer. And yeah, I'm from Croatia, so that's the reasoning behind my choice of name for that veteran unit. The campaign map in this avatar campaign is quite cool. I mean, just by doing conquering areas, you get quite a lot of stuff. Not only to customize your avatar, but also you get a broad range of units depending on where you attack. And the retainer system also is quite cool. I mean, not only do you improve your own army, but with certain retainers you can also do damage to the enemy's forces. So yeah guys, thanks for watching, and also I'm going to put a list of games I have that I play a lot in the section below, so if you want me to do a let's play or maybe even a walkthrough in any one of those games, just comment. And again, thanks for watching. I hope you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.